Round one. Fight.
Heroes never die.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Power, sex, power. They both come down to one thing.
Hungry gamers.
Hello, and welcome, boys and girls, to the 111th episode of the Hungry Gamers podcast. We are powered by 8bit.net and Audio Technica, and are a proud member of the hashtag 8bit Collective. I'm a not so humble host, Brendan White, who can be found everywhere at Brendan8bit. Joined today, one of my usual partners in crime, who is coming to us from a different reality. We've actually got Mr. Alexander Hart here, who can be found still at Miss Ellie Hart for some reason, and making his long-awaited return, new host of You Game Bro, sometimes host of A+ Anime whenever it is they get their episodes back online. Nato J, who can be found at I Know Nato. How's my two favourite people going?
Finally, Nato has come back to Hungry Gamers.
Yeah, what's up? Hello, everybody.
So Nato, Alexander, how you doing?
Doing good.
Oh, I'm so happy to have my brother here with me rather than my sister.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, brother. God damn it. I hate you both.
Oh, shit.
I wasn't sure where I was going to take it, but I knew I had to come up with something on the fly, and Alexander just fit it too well, so we're going with it today on the 111th episode. Alexander, I should say, sorry. It's a pleasure that you've made your long-awaited debut here on the channel. Like, your sister's spoken very highly of you.
Yeah.
And it's an honour to finally have you on board with your other sister here, Nato.
Yeah. There's a lot of mixed genders going on here. Yeah, no. I'm actually nicer than Ali, so...
That couldn't be possible. She has to be the nicest person you'll ever meet, with a heart of gold. She hugs everybody. She, cares for everybody. That's our Ali that we know.
Oh, wow, that's a fucking split universe version of Ali. God damn, I cannot keep talking about myself. I'm sorry.
We'll get you just a solo podcast. You can just have monologues where you just talk about yourself and your day-to-day business and things. It'd be fantastic. I'd tune in.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could do that at all.
So for anyone new to the podcast, the Hungry Gamers here, we're going to talk a whole lot of games, a whole lot of nonsense. But I figure we might kick it off with what we always do here, THG. We'll talk about what we've been playing this past week that was. Alexander, as you are new to the show here, what have you been playing today? Or more so this week, I should say. Anything you want to share with us?
Well, I might talk about what Ali's been playing. Since I'm not a gamer, I'm a big doofus jock that likes football or something like that.
That's what I wanted with my fantasy. I wanted you to be one of those gold gym, on the beach, tanned up, just muscle bound Alexander. That's how I imagined. Yes.
Playing volleyball and listening to Kenny Loggins.
Watches Top Gun every day.
Tom Cruise is my hero, man.
Exactly.
I feel sorry for anyone.
This episode's going to be the best.
Oh, my God. I feel bad for anyone that's new to the podcast going, what the flip is going on right now?
We have fun, listeners, all right? We have fun.
We do, yes. And if they've reached this level, they've been understanding on more ways than one. Paradigm, PC game done by a little Australian indie developer.
From Perth, I'm pretty
creator.
sure.
Perth. You know what? There's been one good thing that came out of Perth.
Nathan!
The Crown Casino?
Did that come from Perth?
No, that came from
Well,
Melbourne
there's one
first.
over there. There's one over there.
Yeah.
It looks like a pyramid.
Oh, it's good. It's really good. Stayed there when Ian was here. Real good.
Wait, you shared a bedroom?
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, Paradigm is a really funny homage to the point and click adventure genre that doesn't really take itself too seriously. The graphic style is really great. He has this kind of semi-smooth drawn, but also very textured design. But the amount of references that he does to not only other point and click adventures, but other like very pop culture related things too, I would say, to our age bracket, is absolutely great. And the sense of humor is really wacky as well. So there's a lot of like rude jokes and stuff like that. Like one of the main things that I've been doing in this game, because I am a loser, is you know how you always have the options like, you know, use, grab, talk to, you can use on any object. So if there's a pile of dirt, he'll go up and he'll say, and he's got this like wonderful like Eastern European, like Polish, Russian kind of accent. And he's like, hello, dirt. And you can do it to anything, any object that you might be able to interact with. He'll say hello to it. But then there's also pick up, which is a standard point and click kind of command. So if with certain items, you'll go pick up this item, and so he runs his business out of a caravan. So you go pick up caravan, and then he goes, hello, you sexy caravan. I'll treat you well one day, like as in pick it up, like dating wise. So I don't know. There's a lot of like clever little funny things in there. And I actually bought this game ages ago. I think I remember talking about wanting to play this game on the podcast ages ago. I mean, Ali saying she wanted to. And it has not disappointed whatsoever. I actually know the developer. He actually Twitch streams as well, and he'll play the game sometimes and, you know, answer questions that you have about it. So
he's also been on a other notorious podcast that maybe one of these members of this podcast is now the lead host of. So
Brendan, was he on your podcast?
Was he on 8-Bit Mania? Wrestling.
No, he actually was on an old episode of You Game Bro. Pez had him
fantastic.
On. Yeah.
Because it's Jacob. I don't know how you pronounce his surname.
Yeah, I'm not going to
Is
do
it
that.
Januka?
Yeah,
Januka?
Sounds about right. But yeah, so go check that out if you want to see the developer talk about it as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm keen to play it. Like I've had it in my Steam list for a while. Like I bought it as well because I think it's under $20, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like $15, something like that.
Yeah,
I'd have to be for Ali to pick it up.
And the review.
I actually paid full price for this game when it came out because I wanted it so badly. So shut your mouth.
Okay.
But like, I'm just looking on the Steam powered like listing for it, and it's all reviews. It's 98% on Steam.
Seriously, if you remember playing games like Curse of Monkey Island or Sam and Max, like just those like Grim Fandango, those games that have great story, great like design, dialogue, all that sort of stuff, but it's not super serious. Like it has a joke with itself and it has like a really good like tongue-in-cheek kind of comedy. That's exactly what this game is. And you know, it's brought in, you know, to this day and age, and it makes me actually really disappointed that like point and click adventures maybe aren't as common, I guess, because they have to keep it for like, they try to make games now diverse between console and PC as to opposed to point and click adventures being strictly PC.
It's definitely a dying art. But it's great to see that this game did sort of catch fire.
Well, it's more like a dead art that kind of made a little bit of a resurgent recently. Like there was like no point and clicks for a while, and then now they've kind of sort of come back with all the remasters of all like the LucasArts ones and all those kind of ones that have come back.
Yeah, but like kind of like bringing back old stuff is great. It's obviously awesome. Like a lot of us have obviously jumped back on that anyway, but
yeah.
It'd be really nice to see, I don't know, if some developers kind of start like going down a new route, really. I think point and click adventures really have been replaced with, you know, your Telltale.
I was about to say, yeah, because Telltale, like, season 1 of Walking Dead was very point and click, and now it's more, these days it's more dialogue choices and quick time events rather than like, I remember, like, there was the scene where you're in, like, the shop and you had to go around and you find the batteries to put them in the remote, to turn the TV on, to attract the zombies so you could go over here. But now it's, yeah, literally dialogue choices and quick time events in most of the Telltale games, so.
Yeah.
Well, most of the quote unquote, like, I guess the point and clicks have become almost like the walking simulators. You know, maybe the walking simulators is probably this generation's point and click, would you say?
Yeah. I'd safe to say that's probably it. And it's like I no offense to people that like the Telltale games, but I just feel like that's way too structured. Like I felt every time I've like watched a gameplay of it, it's pretty obvious what you're meant to do. It's just obviously when you choose your dialogue, sometimes, you know, it'll change things. That's up, like, you know, change things in story wise. But point and click was it made you think really hard. Like you really had to think about, you know, objects that you had story, your surrounding. You had to be a little bit. You know what? I'm probably gonna make it sound terrible. You had to actually think. You know.
Yeah.
So take that. You know, people that like those kind of games.
Yeah.
But I just love the little fucked up element about this game. Like, the whole story is about that, like, it's a genetics company that, you know, it's the time in life where people want to genetically create their children into, you know, amazing children, like, you know, genetic geniuses and marvels. But, like, it goes down the route that, like, you know, unfortunately it doesn't always go right. The one, I don't know if he's a bad guy yet, but there's a sloth, and he was genetically created to spit up candy every 30 minutes. I've got to say the sloth also attracted me to this game. So, but yeah, I reckon I can give it a go. Support an indie developer, support Australian. 100%. I don't think you'll be disappointed. If you love point and click adventures, you'll love it.
On the point of sloths, did you realize what the Pokemon was last week? The sloth that you have to go get. You need to get Slacking and Slack Off and all that. They're the Pokemon you're after. They're the sloth Pokemon that you need to get in the current Pokemon Go. Ali?
I've been having troubles with Pokemon Go. Like, I've been getting the same fucking things.
Really?
Yeah, it's just I keep on getting the summertime Pikachu thing with the hat and the glasses. You know, it
Pokemon
kind of
Go's trash anyway, so bring on, let's go Eevee.
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So, Alexander, anything else you've been playing or watching your sister play at all, or
have you been playing a bit more Hunter?
No, because I think Ali was incapacitated and sick. So
we should play some Hunter after the pod, maybe. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Do you want me to ask her?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll ask her now. Hey, Ali, you want to play Hunter? Ali's a raptor.
Oh, speaking of raptors, this segues perfectly into what I've been playing this past week. Alexander, you are crushing the game here. We're definitely going to have you back on the pod.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
I've finally got into Jurassic World Evolution, which has been sitting on the computer for a couple of weeks now. Mm-hmm. Jurassic Park, you know, simulator as it is. You know, you build your respective dinosaur parks across the various, you know, Isla Nublar and all the other islands that encounter, you know, Jurassic World. Level them up. It's you know, it's a Sim City, it's a Civ, things like that. You know, you're building you're boosting your economy. You're feeding the various dinosaurs. You're ensuring money's getting generated via your attractions and your gift shops and your fast food outlets and all that other shit. But the one thing I'm really liking about it is, depending on, you know, the mixing and matching of the dinosaurs in the respective pens, they try and break out, and sometimes they break out and then obviously eat the paying entrances to the various people that are walking around the showgrounds. So you've got to get your ranger out there to tranquilize the animal, and then get your helicopter in to obviously fly it back into the pen. And so there's constantly micromanaging of the pens, making sure you know, the fences are working, there's no wear and tear, there's adequate food supply in there. Otherwise, yeah, you get a raptor that breaks out, starts killing everybody. You know, your credibility rating goes down, your profit drops out the arse, and then you're looking to potentially bankrupt this sucker. So I'm liking that there is that, coupling with things like you can send a sort of a dig crew out to uncover new fossils to create new dinosaurs and things like that. So there is a constant need to be leveling up and researching and trying to further develop your tech and your dinos in the park. Obviously, you know, the end of the game is to make more money and you know, generate more interest in your park. But I like that they sort of splice those elements from the films and I guess similar games out there into this, and it makes a pretty fun experience.
I love seeing him eat the goat.
Does it seem like, it does seem like a lot in it, but does it seem like it's a bit shallow for a full priced game?
Yeah, I'll say yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
because that's what I've seen, like, where I can go buy a Civ for like $10 cheaper, and like Civ will last me I could play that sucker for 1,000 hours and still like keep going. And it looks like it does look like a lot until you get to that point in a lot of Sims where they start self-running and you literally don't have to do anything because money's rolling in, and occasionally you'll be like, oh yeah, I've just got to stop a dinosaur, but I got a shit ton of cash.
Exactly. Yeah, like there's the 5 islands that you've got to build your respective parks on. So I'm nearly onto the 3rd one now, but as you said, once you get those islands running autonomously, it's pretty much just a copy paste almost situation where you go to the next island, you've got to build from the ground up again. Your money doesn't carry from island to island, which is good. So you can't just come in there with $50 billion and just go boom, 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 done. So there is a bit of hardship, and there's weather elements and degradation on the islands and all this other hooey stuff you got to go through. But it's cool, and I like Jeff Goldblum voices this game, like he narrates it, which is pretty fucking sick. So here an old Dr. Ian Malcolm give you advice and his little anecdotes and his his little quips and things like that. It's great.
And fake Chris Pratt.
Yeah, they've got fake Chris Pratt. So they've got Chris Pratt's likeness. They've got Dallas Bryce Howard's likeness in it, but they're voiced over by Johnny Smith and Janie Smith.
I love it when they bring the Smith
I like
family
that they're trying to flesh it out. Oh yeah, it's easier to buy them as a package deal, that voiceover crew. So, but yeah, as you said, Nato, it probably could be $20 less because I think it's $70 brand new.
Yeah, it's 80.
Like
it's 80 when I tried to buy it.
It's definitely definitely not an $80 game.
Yeah, I'll just go play Civ if I was going to pay $80 for a game.
Yeah, but it certainly scratches my itch. Obviously, for anyone that's talked to me for more than 10 minutes, they know I'm a bit of a dinosaur fanatic. So anytime I can raise these things in a digital environment, or watch them interact and attack and feed and all that, I'm all for it. So I'll still push through. I'll finish the 5 islands and see what happens after that, if maybe there is some end game. But I think it's more so going to be micromanaging, just minor maintenance and upgrades once it's all said and done. So
because I've only seen the first island, are they bigger, the next islands? Like it just,
some of them are bigger.
It just looks like you got the one massive paddock, and then you've got the amusement park kind of next to it, rather than like Jurassic Park in the movies was like you would do the carts through them, and this was this enclosure and this enclosure, and like I wish it was more. I don't know if it does change on the other islands, but that first island looks like I'm raising everything in this big park, and I can make them come closer by doing food, but it's not like Sim City where you got not like Roller Coaster Tycoon where you've literally got to make a park and like make things.
No, you make it all. You make it all. So you can make your pens as big or as small as you want. You can add your foliage, your water supplies, your food supply, whatever animals you want. And you need to just have like a Hammond center, I think they call it, and that's where the dinosaurs get created. You need one per pen. So every pen you make, you have to build one of those. Then you can mishmash whatever dinosaurs you want to put in there. So
no, I mean like
when I first
you've got to make it look like a park rather than just like put foliage in. Like it doesn't look like you have to make like style points of like, it looks like if you just put enough food places there, you're good. But like on something like Roller Coaster Tycoon, you got to make sure that people can get to certain areas. And
no, you've got to put paths. Like it's a bit pain in the arse here, but you have to put like walking path everywhere for the people to go. So you have to sort of, I guess, plan their journey out. But sadly there isn't any sort of like the jeeps and stuff like that from the original games where you're driving around. It's all just general foot traffic. They get off their little bullet train to the island and then hop off and wander around, have a good time, stay at the hotels I've put in this sucker, and then go home.
I don't know. Just looks like it needs more detail for like a full priced game.
Yeah, it's not a Civ by any means, but it's a good sort of,
or even a Tycoon. Like it doesn't even look like it kind of comes near the prestige that the Tycoon kind of games got to by the end.
Mate, don't you dare talk down Jurassic Park and John Hammond and those legends. They were prestigious as they come. Did you see the amber walking cane that John Hammond had in the original films? That thing is
that's what I mean. Like they look amazing, but that's what I mean. It doesn't look like it translates as well. It looks like it could nearly be a mobile game.
I was just about to say that it looks like a mobile game.
Yeah.
If it was, I'd be all up in that, but alas, it's not. It's just an overpriced game on PC and console. But a game that is well priced that I mentioned last week that I've started to play, and now that I've got two of my favourite people here on the show, wanted to mention I've been playing a little bit more Stardew Valley.
Yeah, my man. We're
chunked a few more hours in.
We're slowly getting you into the good games. We've got you onto Siege. We're gonna get you onto Minecraft soon, and we've got you onto Stardew. So I'm happy. These are them good games.
These are the good games.
Yeah. So I know before Miss Hart ran ill, she mentioned that she wanted to exchange notes and thoughts with yourself about dating options for myself in this game.
Yes.
Obviously, I've played it a little bit more since last week, and I've sort of narrowed it down roughly. I've got sort of three potential paths I could go down.
Okay.
I hope one's male.
The first question I'm going to ask: have you figured out who you can and can't date? Because there's an easy way to look. If people have 10 stars, they're dateable. If they have, I think it's
10 hearts. You mean?
Yeah, 10 hearts. And if they've got 7 hearts, they're not dateable.
So you can't fuck the guy in the wheelchair.
I worked that out. Damn it! I thought it could just roll me around. Save the time walking from farm to, the various shops of a day. Just hitch a ride in every morning.
You wanted to be. What's the dude that died? The hella smarter dude. Oh my god.
Stephen Hawking.
Yeah, Hawkins. You want to be Hawkins' nurse.
Wasn't he married?
But
yeah, but he married his nurse or something in the end. Like later on in life, I'm pretty sure he had an affair or something with her.
Oh, saucy.
Because he can see space and time and shit.
Yeah,
that's why.
Ladies love that.
But yeah,
bitches love fucking fortune prediction.
Sorry, Brendan. Yes, tell us about your love life.
That's okay. So one of the ladies I was debating courting in the world of Stardew Valley. One of them's Penny.
Beautiful. Yes, yep. My girl. Okay, continue.
Okay. Yep. Okay. That's a good start.
You got to save her from that trailer trash of a mother of hers. So yes.
Yep. Mm-hmm. The other one I don't mind is Leah.
Number 2. Well done. What's that? What's the game? Family Feud. You've got number 1 and you've got number 2 on the board.
Show me potato salad.
Yeah.
and the third one's, she's very different to the other two, but I think there's just more to her. She's a bitch, but I think there's more to her, and that's old mate Haley.
Yes. All right, so there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are going to hate you for Haley, but I after doing a whole playthrough with Penny and a whole playthrough with Leia, I went and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do the bimbo, because there's got to be something to it, because that game, every time you think a character's pretty, like, shallowish or, like, surface level, you do their backstory for a while, and then you're like, oh my god. And Haley has a good backstory, alright? So give Haley a chance. Yeah. She is the blonde bimbo at the start, and then she has a lot of depth to her, so Haley's a good one.
Wait, you didn't like my bimbo?
So they're the 3 I'm at.
Yeah, but your bimbo's up himself fucking self. And he's like, oh, I am so into poetry, and I live on a cabin on the beach.
He's a goddamn writer.
The long-haired guy?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a punt.
Yay!
Fuck you all.
Every time I roll past him in town, I'm just like, fuck you, mate.
Exactly. Yes. Ali fucking loves him.
I do. I really like. I kind of don't love him anymore now we're married, and he actually doesn't do shit except for gives me a morning coffee. But apparently everyone does that. So.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm definitely leaning. Penny's sort of where I'm leaning strongest towards, but the Haley angle, because as Nato, as you said, like, they definitely do flesh out the characters a lot in this game, and they haven't given them much depth, so I was just sort of waiting for it to come along. But maybe she was just a red herring too, and nothing would ever come along.
I know, that's why I had to try. One playthrough, I was like, look, I'm going to give it a try. I was, because her sister's really interesting as well. If you do her sister's path, I've done that one as well.
Do her sister's path.
That's
a romance novel written by
Emily?
Emily, I think it is, yeah. She's into textiles, and you do like the huge, crazy LSD dreams with her. That's fucking awesome.
What?
Yeah. You go on LSD trips with her. It doesn't specify you're taking drugs, but you're like in her dream, and like she wakes up and she remembers you in her dream, and it's like, what the fuck happened?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, so
The question is, have you started to find any weird things that you're like, oh wow, this isn't just a farming game anymore?
yeah, like obviously I can't remember the guy's name. The dude that lived in like the pseudo lighthouse, clock tower cabin, stone thing in the forest.
The wizard.
Like I'm doing, yeah, the wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably would have been an easy way to describe it. Started doing with him and talking about, I can't remember the name of the little green and coloured creatures that live in the old community centre.
Ooblets? Oh no, that's that other game that's coming out. But yeah.
Those little guys. So I know there is some different storytelling
Magic.
about to make me embark on. I think it's not just planting crops, talking to people,
No.
having a fish. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it takes me. The fishing, I was all about the fishing life,
Yeah.
but the fishing is fucking hard and it pisses me off. Like
You'll get better at it.
It gets better.
I feel like I've got my, the button sort of bashing and then sort of the long hold down pat.
Okay,
but
yeah.
it's still
I was about to say,
fucked up
because a
more
lot of
often
people
than
don't
not.
realize you can just hold it as well. And then that's
Yeah.
that whole thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Especially like people that played it from the start where there was nobody around to help us. Like, I genuinely for the longest time thought I just had to keep clicking so fucking
Same.
fast. And oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, so now I worked that out, but I'm still pretty shit. But I just want to become a fisherman in this game, so I'm
I want
out
the
there
multiplayer now. I
fishing
want us
every day.
all hanging out at each other's farms, fucking shit up.
well, we can. I'll get it. I'll rebuy it on PC. I have it on. What do I have it? I have it on Switch,
playing it on Switch.
PlayStation, Xbox, and I think
I can start it again on PC. I'm probably 6 hours in or something.
yeah.
like
Well, you
that.
start
So
you
it's
start
not
a
too
farm
bad.
all together when you do it on multiplayer. It's real cool.
Or do you?
Let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at that.
Yeah.
Can you still
We should
pick
do-
up people?
Yeah.
We should all like do a thing where we all start the game together and see who gets laid first.
Me.
I thought it was going to go the other way, where we were going to like have this one big farmhouse and it'd be like that
Yeah.
Sister Wives show.
Oh God. So I'm glad. So you're enjoying Stardew. That's real good.
I am enjoying that. I know there is parts where it can get boring, so you sort of got to push through occasionally when there isn't much going on. And I'm aware things will pick up and slow down accordingly based off the seasons and what's going on.
Yeah.
But
It's all about planning.
There was some
It's
struggle.
like planning
Oh.
ahead.
Did you go to the loser loner dance yet?
no, I think that's coming up though.
Oh,
Fuck
get
that
ready for it.
Savage the first year.
Uh-huh. Yep. It's the biggest kick in the nuts. That's how I got this voice.
Yeah. Big kick in the nuts.
Yeah, so I'm excited to keep chipping away. And something else that we'll be talking about next week that you both are hyped on, and Nato, that you're probably going to segue into after this. I preloaded Octopath Traveler on the old Switchy today, so I'm excited to get into the full version of that. It goes live. I think it's midnight tonight.
Yeah.
Which is Thursday, July 12th. So yeah, 13th of July it's released. So I'm hyped to get into that over the weekend.
God, so am I. I'm thinking I might be streaming it tomorrow. I was just going to do it on my own, like, just private channel, because, like, I was just going to have a chill one, but a whole bunch of people were like, no, do it on the You Game Bro one, so I might be actually doing it on that, so who knows.
Nice.
We'll figure it out. But because I've got the older version of the Elgato, so it has that delay, so I'm going to have to figure out how to delay my sound so it links up with the delayed gameplay and stuff like that.
Yep.
If it's too much hassle, I'll just play it myself. But I do want a lot of people to see that game, because I've heard some whispers that reviews are a bit but
Yeah, I've seen the same out on the internets.
yeah, but I don't care. It's such like even from the 2 demos, like I've had so much fun, and I just, because it's very non-linear, like once you do your first 2 chapters of your starting character, then you can go out and recruit the rest of the characters, and then to recruit them, you've got to do their second chapter, and then they join you, and then once you get as many or as little as people as you want, you can continue on with the world. It will like show you where the next part of each people's chapters are, so you can go there and yeah, you can do like 3, 4, 5 chapters of this chapter guy's character, and then go back and do chapter 2 of this guy's thing. You don't have to do it all in a linear fashion. That the most of like the Final Fantasies, it looks like it's getting inspired from has done, where it's more like similar to the start of like Dragon Age Origins, where like you could choose a different whole bunch of characters and then you did their path and they all lead to like the one path in the end and stuff like that. I'm pretty excited because yeah, it's just so much fun.
What else you been doing?
What else have I been doing? Playing Siege, still playing Siege, you know. That game's just even when I'm not playing towards something, it's just so much fun to sit in Siege. Like I just love the tactics, and it's always different a match, even though it's not. And it's, I think when we were playing it to you, like they really described it. It's like really the top 10 of a PUBG match. That tense intensity. And, like, you know, if you fuck up, it's all done. Like, just that one wrong move can fuck everything for you. And it's just, I love that, that dread and horror and, like, relief when you just cap a mofo.
Yeah, you definitely, your sphincter is tightened from the second your little robot drone car squirting around. Like, you are on tilt right from the jump.
Yeah.
And, the fact, you don't have obviously massive amounts of health. You get headshotted, it's pretty much instant death. There's, it's rare that you survive a gunfight unless you were the one leading off said gunfight. So it's intense. It's very risk reward. I want to play some more because I'm still fairly clueless. I'm getting a hold of a few operators, but man, there is a chasm between me and a great player. But we'll keep chipping away.
But that is the fun of it. Like I hate relating it to something like PUBG, but it's like it doesn't matter how good you are. Like a mistake is a mistake, whether you are the best player in the world or the least better player. It's not like something like a Halo or something like that, where like you can make a slight mistake, but you've got enough of a health or a shield to kind of correct yourself and use your gun skills to like slaughter somebody. If a good best player in the world walks into a room wrong, bang, dead. Doesn't matter who you are. So that's like, it's nearly a great equalizer when it comes to mistakes, where it's just like that split second mistake can cost you no matter how good of a gun skills you are in that game. That's why I love it.
True. Miss Hart, or Mr. Hart, I should say. Sorry. Have you downloaded that, or do you know if Ali's downloaded it in its entirety yet? I know it's a fairly sizable one and you're hesitant about kicking it on again.
No, so the last thing was she installed it, and when she got the additional 56 gigabyte update, she said, fuck this shit, fuck NATO, fuck this game, and then proceeded to uninstall it again.
Solid. Valid and solid.
She may do it again. She may install it again.
Yeah, like tomorrow.
Oh, really? I'll let her know.
Yep.
NATO.
She's a good friend of mine. She'll definitely do it.
Oh, she's a friend now, not a sister. Fuck.
Yeah.
You can be friends with your sister.
My sister's my best friend.
Yeah, my sister's one of my best mates. She pisses me off, but I love her.
That's Ali incarnate.
That's pretty true.
And what the only other thing, I haven't been playing that much, but like the new, like, well, it was just about to finish up the what was it? Not Skull Thrones. It was Skeleton Barrels, which are like the new event was a bunch of anytime skeletons spawned, at least one of them would spawn with an explosive barrel in their hands and be like chemical.
You're talking. Just to interrupt, you're talking about Sea of Thieves, obviously.
Did I not say Sea of Thieves?
No.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, Sea of Thieves.
This happens in Siege.
Yeah, oh God, skeletons come out of the ground. God, that'd be a good expansion. Yeah, so like it was all about the Bilge Rats, which are a new faction now in the game. So apart from the Gold Hoarders, oh God, I can't remember them. The Traders and the Skull People. Now the fourth guild is now the Bilge Rats. They have their own currency, and when you do doubloons, when you do missions for them, they give you doubloons, and you can use doubloons to buy their gear, or you can trade it in for like 10,000 gold, a complete rank up with one of the other factions, or what else can you get? Something else that's really cool as well. So it's a really cool new currency, and yeah, the new one was just like you need to, like, 5 times in a row hit a guy with a barrel and kill six other skeletons, or, like, set off a chain reaction, or shoot a gold skeleton with barrels in his hand that sets off another one, and then also like use that to propel yourself up, and they give you doubloons for like getting these achievements and stuff like that. It's really fun, and the new one just dropped tonight, or like last night, which is now the cursed statues, which are a whole bunch of mermaid statues around the place that are like deep underwater, so you have to swim down to them and find them and like shoot them, and it's really fun. It's now more encouraging you to go super explore the oceans now rather than explore the islands, which is like really, really fun.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
need
I was reading
them.
about.
No.
Yeah, I was reading about that expansion, and it's still there's an emphasis on teamwork. Like you need your crew down there attacking these statues together to destroy them.
Yeah, you
but
need
I
a
like
high
that
enough
there's sunken
DPS.
treasure and things like that around them as well,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's all these mini events. They're not DLCs yet. I think the DLC comes out at the end of this month or next month, which is the Cursed Sails, where we will be getting AI skeleton boats, galleons sailing around the place.
Which is going to be sick.
Oh, and we get a dinghy or a sailboat so you can park your big ship and use the sail like little paddle boat to paddle into the island now. So it's going to be...
It's funny. I half think that they were probably listening on some of our game chat a few nights, because we talked about having these in the game at length.
Yeah.
And there was no mention about these until we started playing this game. So I'm wondering if Rare owes us a little bit of royalty, a little bit of real life doubloon, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause, we were campaigning pretty hard for a little dinghy.
Yeah. Well, like that is what I've been saying about Rare. They are, because from the start they were like, no, we don't really want to put AI boats and all that in the game. We want you guys to just be fighting yourselves. And the communities themselves have been like, no, we really would like something like this in the game. And to their credit, they're like, well, this is apparently what you guys wanted. So, yep, this is going to be our new expansion for you guys. Here they are. So they have been a lot of changing and chopping depending on like what the community is kind of really focused on. So like something like equating to something like Destiny, where everyone harks on, like a majority of the community is like, you need to change this or put this in, and Destiny's like Bungie's still like meh. Even like the Division, which like took them to the point where like nobody was playing that game yet to finally be like, oh shit, yeah, maybe we should change things up in this game. So I give super credit to Rare to like listening to their community and implementing things in the game. They like it was early on in development where they said they were going to have microtransactions to like for advanced like cosmetics, but they and when people ask like, are we still getting them? They're like, look, we're really going to hold off on all that stuff until we make the game that you guys want, because there's no point us putting that kind of stuff in if you guys aren't happy with the game. So like that's so good to hear that somebody wants to do something like that.
You love them.
I do.
You love them. And this is going to be your game of the year, I know.
It probably will, because I keep saying like because after every one of the big expansions, they've left in whatever was in. Like the last one was Megalodon, and now like Meg rocks up still in the world. Like it wasn't one and done, and now like they've added so much to the world that it's like already like I want a whole bunch of people that came in from the start of the game to come in and be like, there is a shit ton of shit to do now. Like so much stuff to do now, and there's so many
still
things
have to
to
summon
see.
her, Meg?
No, she rocks up like the Kraken now.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and there's
which is pretty cool.
And there's like 4 different types of them as well, and they all have like a different personality. Like one of them's very shy, so that one will sail away from the boat, and one's like just is very curious, so will swim next to your boat, and then one is like very super aggressive and will always attack the boat like instantly.
Oh,
yeah.
Shy sharks. Now I've heard of everything.
Yeah.
So, shall we kick it now to our news that we want to unpack for the week? What do you think?
yeah.
Let's hit it.
This week's news headlines.
All right, Alexander. What are you bringing to the hungry table today? What are we gonna unpack at this picnic lunch?
All right, so what I decided to bring and Ali had nothing to do with is a story coming from Game Revolution. What they're talking about is the Game Workers Unite release a statement based on the Arenanet firing. Just for context, for people that don't know what that's actually about, it was last week Guild Wars 2 studio Arenanet fired 2 writers based on some tweets that they had made. Jessica Price, who works with Guild Wars 2, she's a part of the narrative team. she criticized a YouTuber in regards to kind of like talking about the concept of branching dialogue and that sort of stuff. So what happened is that she kind of like very publicly, verbally kind of stated how, you know, she was essentially kind of being receiving kind of like not down talking, but kind of like someone saying that their opinions on how it should be done and telling her kind of in a way how to do a job. There's mixed opinions in honestly the market on like how that was actually done, whether they were talking down to her or they were just giving an opinion. Either way, also Peter Fries also stood up to her, who was also part of Arenanet. I keep on saying Arenanet and I don't know why. But in the end, so what happened is Arenanet actually fired both the two writers, unfortunately, and now there is like a massive backlash in the game developer community, and that's what Game Workers Unite is, a video game kind of like what are they called? They're like a what's the word?
Like a labor?
Yeah.
Like a union?
Yeah, that's it. A union, that's it. It's Unite Union. There we go. So, first of all, I didn't know game developers had a union. Thank Christ that they do. But they pretty much...
It's only new, I'm pretty sure.
Is it? It is new?
Yeah.
Yeah, bloody hell do they need it.
Or if there isn't, there's one new one that's like trying to get some big traction at the moment. I know that's happening at the moment. Whether it is related to this or... I've just heard a lot of it in the news that all of a sudden they're talking unions and stuff like that. Well,
it's good because they cop a lot of shit, so I'm glad that there's a group that's actually going to be looking after them. But they've actually, this union actually has released this statement. They've labelled this action by Arenanet that it is a knee-jerk reaction, and they reckon that the decision was made with no dialogue, no nuance, and no empathy. You've also seen a lot of development on Twitter now where fellow gaming developers have kind of like spoken out about it. And actually fellow workers that have actually worked in Arenanet, they are now like kind of speaking out saying how much of a bad decision it was. And you're now seeing people like doing like DMing these game developers saying, well, you know what, this game developer was talking shit to me, you should really fire them, and this person deserves to be fired and you deserve to be fired. So now it's about the gaming community thinking that they have the right the second that, you know, someone who's involved with the game decides to either stand up for themselves or validate their opinion, you know, that all of a sudden if they say anything against, you know, a gamer and the gamer doesn't like it, then now gamers feel like that they have the right to go out to the, you know, studios and say, you need to fire this person right now.
Yeah.
And that's...
Yeah, Nato, what do you think about this?
Humans are pieces of shit. That's what I think about this. It's like... It's like... It's that terrible thing of like, whatever way it goes, it's going to be horrible. Like, it's... Like, the core issue is bad. Like, she shouldn't have been fired. But then, like, union stuff is always bad as well. Because, like, you just have to look at the dock workers in Australia and how bad they abuse that kind of union to fuck stuff up. But... saying that, the game developers kind of side is a very oppressed working structure, so they do kind of need something strong like a union to properly do this. So it is kind of something where this should probably, hopefully the union wins on this kind of side of an event, because, God, we definitely don't need to power those self-privileged gamers that think they can go and wreck anything because, I was talked to badly by this person.
Yeah, like, I guess it's also because it was like a YouTuber. I think it was not a big YouTuber, but a relatively, you know, sized YouTuber. And I think because it was like done directly and it was on more of an open platform, then like, I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bit of a gang mentality anyway. But them, the union describing here that it was a knee-jerk reaction, I reckon is 100%. It really honestly felt like it went from 0 to 100 in regards to the decision just to fire these people.
Yeah.
No discussion, nothing. And I think that's definitely the thing that you need to look at with it. Because in regards to game developers, if say they're saying really like sexist stuff, you know, racist, like homophobic, like if they're saying that sort of shit, then obviously, yeah, they definitely need to be talked to. But if it's just someone kind of like
Standing up
having-
for themselves.
Yeah, standing up for themselves, like and their work and their credibility, and their, I think they should be at least allowed to kind of do that. And if it goes beyond their means, then maybe they should have like a discussion, like have a talk with the company and stuff like that. Then I just
I'm I don't know, like I'm sort of fence sitting on it. I think from what I've understood about this, and Jack Cruz and Sammy Deej actually unpacked the original situation regarding the Arenanet firings on the latest episode of It Is What It Is, which is a great little listen. But from what I'm aware of, the content creator that obviously engaged in this social media interaction was actually a partnered creator with Arenanet. So and I read some of the discussion, and they weren't going at Miss Price or anything like that. They were just sort of saying, hey, here's some thoughts from someone that's on the ground playing the game, and she just went at him, and there is no right or wrong, I guess, on both sides. Like, it could have been handled better from all accounts. Maybe you could have DM'd her and did it offline, but there was no malice. But
that's why I said a lot of opinions. There's a lot of different opinions on the situation. Everyone has a different idea of like she was in the wrong, he was in the wrong, but you're gonna always have that. Like
I can definitely like from what I've heard and a bit of research I've done, apparently she sort of has been a little bit of a lightning rod for a few bad things, indirectly attaching herself with obviously working with Arenanet. So maybe this was more so like a final strike. Second strike, third strike, whatever. But yeah, seeing Peter Freeze just get the ass for he just sort of came to defense for his co-worker, but I guess maybe because she was sort of out on an island alienating herself, saying, you know what, I'm planting my flag here, and if I'm going down in a pretty good blaze of glory. So maybe him standing against Arenanet's morals or whatever they want to call them probably wasn't the smartest thing to do. It was very, as you said, quote unquote knee jerky, but it's risky. Like even people like with their social media accounts, when they're like, my opinions are not that of my employer or whatever. And it's like, yeah, you can put that in there, but if you're still being a motherfucker, you're being a motherfucker and still working for that employer. Like, you're still attached to it. Like, every big company now, or even any job, like there's always a social media policy attached to your work contract, or there'll be updates tied into HR where you need to, read the new social media guidelines and things. Like, you got to be careful. Yeah. Like, even if you're talking about something completely unrelated to your field, but if you've got a polarizing opinion or a divisive opinion or a racist, ignorant, whatever, sexist opinion, even if it has nothing to do with what you do during your 9 to 5 or your usual work hour, like, it's going to ripple back and give that company some bad PR if, enough noise is made. So I can understand why they nipped it in the bud straight away.
But yeah, firing's a bit heavy.
I'm just under the impression maybe she has had a few strikes, just from what I've sort of seen, just from a bit of research on the old internets and things. I think she has sort of tiptoed that line of controversy and potential bad PR with, in parallel with working at Arenanet over the last couple of years. So yeah, maybe it was just like, this is the final straw. Sorry, Miss Price. We'll see you later.
Yeah. And like I said, the main thing about this, I guess, using this one's a bit of a bad example because, like you've brought out, there's like a lot of other little elements that are behind this one. But the problem is that it's kind of turning into a ripple effect, and now that gamers feel like all they have to do is just complain now to the developer and they can get a person fired. Yeah. I think that's the problem.
Yeah. And it's risky. Like, obviously you look at some of the big time content creators out there, like they've got social media followings and subscribers in the 100,000s, millions, so on and so forth. Whereas, Mr. or Mrs. writer or lowly software engineer, usually they keep to themselves on social media because they just want to be known for the work and I guess not for their opinions. They, when you look at those numbers where you go, okay, Ninja or Shroud or Streamer XY can bring tens of thousands of eyes to this product immediately and give me good press or bad press via a tweet. So they definitely, you start to see them side more with the content creator, which is a shame. Like, you see it with Twitch all the time. The big high caliber streamers with the that large scale follower base do something sexist, racist, bigotry, idiotic, whatever it is, and they'll get a rap across the knuckles because they know that's a meal ticket. That's a cash cow for a Twitch or a Mixer or a YouTube or whatever it might be.
Yeah. Bad news still gets some money, so they won't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Where, there's writers out there, they might not work to the standard of a Price or another writer or developer or coder out there, but yeah, they are, there will be a million people out there ready to jump into that spot if it opens up.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, it's gonna keep happening, and I think that whole openness from game creators and developers and writers and things may start to close. They're going to be more fearful of that backlash and that ripple effect. So we might not have this back and forth. Like Nato, even back to what you said, how Rare are very responsive and open and, heavily involved with the community. Things like that, you'll see that maybe dial back with more things like this starting to sort of trickle into the game space.
Yeah. Not good. Because we want developers and players to kind of be on equal terms and be friends and all work together to make games fun, because that's what the fuck they're supposed to be, people. Jesus.
Amen. Yeah, so I guess my news that I'm bringing to the table tonight comes via way of Polygon.
Can I just say on brand as fuck? The only way it would be more on brand if it would be like announcing a new like Jurassic Park film or something like that.
Okay, so my news that we're going to be talking about, I don't know in what regard because there's not a huge amount here. The news headline via Polygon reads, "The Mortal Kombat movie reboot sounds a little different." So the headline itself and the article that tacks onto the back of that reads, Warner Brothers New Line Studio has been trying to get a new Mortal Kombat movie off the ground for years now in the form of a reboot of the franchise. The latest effort has a director and a screenwriter attached, and based on some early details about the film, it will take some intriguing departures from the established Mortal Kombat story. Pop culture site The Hashtag Show reported earlier this week that the Mortal Kombat reboot will feature an original character in the lead role, known as Cole Turner. He's described as a struggling and widowed boxer who cares about his young daughter more than anything, and said to be incredibly determined in the face of adversity. Hold that fire for a sec, Nato. Hold that fire.
It's just a quick question. Isn't Carl Turner like a main character name in like 400 billion different things?
Maybe. God, maybe Google that while I read the rest here.
All right, just a second.
Okay, so back to the article. The article continues saying, the cast of characters includes the usual Mortal Kombat crew, Kano, Sonya, Raiden, Liu Kang, Shang Tsung. Also listed are some characters deeper in the Mortal Kombat lore, like Draman, Nitara, and Reiko. Not included are series stalwarts like Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and Johnny Cage.
What?
Somewhat surprisingly, the casting breakdown for Raiden indicates he'll be portrayed as a 14-year-old boy named Jin.
What?
It goes on to say Greg Russo, who's writing the script, has confirmed that the above isn't the full list of characters to be included within the movie. So, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Johnny Cage, Goro, the likes, they may or may not make an appearance. James Wan is currently attached to produce, obviously, who was shot to fame by the Fast and Furious franchise. And I guess rounding this off, this is going to be the third film after the two movies that were done in the 90s, Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and then the two web series of Mortal Kombat Legacy.
They were really good.
Yeah.
Hey, Conquest, no, one of them was good. I can't remember whether it was Conquest or Legacy. One of them was really good. I like that one.
The best thing that happened was the short film Mortal Kombat Rebirth that had Michael Jai White as Jax in it.
That was.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
It was Tanchiroan, I think is how you pronounce the guy's surname that put it together.
Yeah.
It was great, and it had some hype, but nothing ever came of that.
Mounted, no.
Yeah, so we've got a 14-year-old Raiden named Jin.
Yep.
What in the fuck? This new character, Cole Turner, who's going to be the central character, and apparently he's going to be working in close with Sonya and Jax and that crew. It sounds like they're just going to do another watered down, like PG, maybe M-rated bit of shit.
Yeah.
can you do that with Mortal Kombat?
I'm so excited.
Oh, I'm not. This can go suck a bloody big bag of dicks.
So I can't find anything with Carl Turner because Carl Turner is actually apparently a big rugby player for the Rabbitohs. So anything
hang on. Kyle Turner plays for the Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
You're searching Carl Turner, I think, but I said Cole.
Cole.
C-O-L-E.
Okay, let's try that one. All right. I'll be back.
Let's go back to how shit this movie sounds. What the fuck? Okay, I'm just gonna let everyone know I love watching the original movie. It's on my, I love the really bad video game movies. I love my Super Mario Brothers. I love my Street Fighter. I love my Mortal Kombat. What the fuck are they doing with this movie? I mean, seriously.
Okay, I found out why I know Cole Turner. It's Angel from Charmed. That's his name.
Wow, you really stuck it to the man.
I just knew I'd heard
knowledge.
that name like somewhere before as a character in something, and I don't know why it was all the way back in Charmed.
The power of 3 will set us free, hey?
Good old Angel.
So
one that became a drug addict.
So they're trying to weave this Cole Turner, struggling and widowed boxer who cares more about his young daughter than anything. So
I don't even like that in the first place because he's a boxer. Where's the MMA fighter? It's not like it's 1999 anymore and like boxing is the prestigious fighting style of the world.
Floyd Money Mayweather says, suck a dick and cry over all my millions, Nato.
Put him in an MMA ring with anybody and he would get destroyed in 2 seconds. They just take him to the ground and win. Done.
It's still the gentleman's physical brawling sport. I'm an MMA guy, don't get me wrong, but yeah, boxing, as much as I keep thinking it year after year it's going to die, it's just there's so much money in it. I think it's because it's just that old money. Like there's so many traditionalists.
That's why it won't die, because there's so much money in it, because they make so much money off it that they won't let it die, even though hardly anyone watches it unless somebody hypes a fight up. It's not because they want to see the people fight, it's because they've hyped it up that they want to watch the people fight.
Plus UFC's turned into shit.
Yeah, that's what UFC's becoming now, where they're hyping fights more than the audience is hyping a fight. So,
like you saw most recently,
Brock
like on
Lesnar.
a minor tangent, Lesnar comes back. He's been suspended for roids for the past 12 months. Comes back straight into a main event title fight against Daniel Cormier because they know it's going to sell money.
Yeah.
Like it's going to sell tickets. It's going to make money. And it's like I like that they do sort of play around with the personality aspect of it because, people want someone that they can cheer and boo for in any sport.
Yeah.
So I like that they have got the heel and the face, but yeah, Lesnar's got no right being in this main event. He's going to get knocked the fuck out. Like, I don't like DC, but he's going to touch him up so bad.
I don't know. DC's a small heavyweight.
Yeah, but Miocic was a big boy and he got knocked out in the first round, which surprised me. I thought Miocic was going to take him down and dismantle him with ease. But anyway, the joys of MMA.
Yeah.
But a 14-year-old Raiden.
I'm happy with that. Something new.
No, fuck that shit.
He's the god of thunder.
Oh, Jesus.
Now,
All right,
now
you
he's the
little
baby
purists.
god of thunder.
All right, the series is dead. Let's bring it up. The best thing they did in the video games was killing Liu Kang, and it got better from there. So let's do it.
Oh yeah, Liu Kang's a punch, but he's back in this. So Liu Kang's here.
Liu Kang was
no
good in the
mention of
first
Kung Lao.
film, and then absolutely terrible in the next.
I wonder if that was
Your soul is mine.
Liu! Your brother's soul is mine. Liu!
Australian Kano was
but-
great. Was he Australian?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Was he Kiwi?
I'm gonna cut your ear
To
to ear.
Hello, baby. Did you miss me?
Yeah,
Put a bit of a smile on your partner's face.
Yeah, so we'll see. Like, it seems that this is just doomed for failure right off the bat. Like, they've got some heavy hitters attached to it. Like, James Wan's one of the it boys in Hollywood as far as producing goes. The money that he's generated from the Fast and Furious is insane. So we'll see. But I just make it a fighting tournament. Who cares about trying to turn a narrative into this? Just say the best fighters from both worlds or both realms come together, fight to the death to be the king of Mortal Kombat.
Brendan,
Just
can I
bloody fights.
Can I point you in the direction of the Dead or Alive movie?
Hey,
Say,
Oh my god.
I love that movie.
it's a bad idea. They had it semi-good in the first film, the idea.
Holly Valance.
Oh, Jesus. I kind of want to watch that tonight. I think I might I might find a legal version of that movie tonight and watch it.
Oh man, I would love to just do a screening of all the video game movies. Like, oh fuck.
Like
It bought it on softcore porn, Dead or Alive. Like, it got pretty raunchy.
What, the game or the movie?
Unnecessarily. The game obviously is always. They've got that titty volleyball shoot spin-off they've done as well. But
So if
movie-
anyone out there is a Game Grumps fan, the newest episode today, they found an offshoot of the volleyball game that's only in Japan, and it's like, it's Holiday Vacation something, and it's like, it came out this year, so like, the graphics are even better.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, it's way up your alley, Ali.
Alexander.
Yeah, sorry, Alexander. You have a very
prefer
feminine
men.
face. But then again, Ali has a very masculine face, so...
Oh fucking hell.
You're going to get punched twice.
She's got to see me to do it. She's not
Brother
coming to
and
PAX.
sister just Hadouken.
No, so yeah, go check that out, Ali. I think it's called Vacation something. Or just check the new Game Grumps video. It's really good.
So moving on to the last bit of news that we're going to unpack here at the Hungry Table. Nato,
All right.
tell us what you brought for us to digest on.
So if anyone follows me or is a friend on Twitter, they know how much I usually I wouldn't say shit on, because shit on is when I usually go over something like Horizon Zero Dawn, which was a very bad game. No, it was alright. But it's not as good as Brendan likes it. But Overwatch, it never clicked with me over the years playing it wise, but I genuinely loved watching when Australia was making its attempt at getting into the World League. So then, like, I really became a fan of kind of watching it then. And then I think it's this year or last year when they announced the Overwatch League, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll give it a try, and genuinely hooked. And most times if I see it on Twitch and I'm not doing anything important, I'll flick it on and watch a few matches. Like, I genuinely love watching the Overwatch League. So, which leads us to our news of the day from Nathan. ESPN, Disney, and ABC all three broadcast the Overwatch League on their broadcasting channels. So, like, this is a big jump. Like,
It's huge, like, because this is the first time that the Overwatch League is going to be broadcast on live TV, right?
Yep, I think so. Oh, I think that maybe I've had when the World Cup was going on, it was on ESPN. I'm pretty sure, but that was
but for the Overwatch League.
Yeah, the
itself
league. So
this is their first time hitting live telly.
I'm gonna say yes, but I don't have 100% knowledge of that. But I haven't seen it anywhere. And the way most of these articles are making it out, it's like a very big thing. So it must not be Overwatch. This will mark the first time Overwatch League will be broadcast on live TV. There you go. So,
This is awesome. Does this mean we could go to your standard sports bar and be like, fucking put Overwatch on, please, mate?
yeah, can you flick it over to Overwatch? These are real athletes.
Excuse me, barkeep. Can you get me a fire engine and change from the rugby league
Fire engine?
the Overwatch League, please, sir? And also a packet of your best crisps there, sir.
And I'd like a virgin mocktail, please. Just a water.
Hold the ice.
But, you know, this is like... Because it genuinely is the way they've pushed this league and they've built this league and everything they've done with this thing. Because this is not the first time any game has tried to do a push like this. And everything is a perfect storm for this game. Like, the way it plays, how people love it, and just the effort they have into building the individual teams in each city. And it didn't fall apart. It had every opportunity to, and it didn't, and it's working beautifully. And people that I know don't really care about esports a lot, I see them like, fuck yeah, my team, like the Shanghai... Oh god, I can't remember the names now, I'm blanking. But Shanghai won tonight, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm very interested. Like, I'm so excited this might be finally our wedge into this world.
I don't want...
Do you think... Oh, you go, sorry, Alexander.
Oh, I was just going to say that I don't know how I feel about the two worlds combining.
I don't want them combined. I just want it in another slot in the... Like, more money. The more people watch it, the more money gets into it, the more other leagues could be built on other games. So
yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, so it's interesting. Obviously, ESPN is pretty well the largest sporting network service out there as far as sporting broadcasting. So, because they've signed a multi-year deal with Blizzard Entertainment, and sort of, I guess, backing onto what you were saying earlier, Nato, I think a lot of this success probably stems from the fact that Blizzard do it the right way. Like, they're very calculated in how they market their product, how they go to market, how they promote, who they partner with. It's very strategic, and to see them jump on board here with ESPN as opposed to, you know, localization with, you know, 7mate or CBS or some bullshit. It shows they're both taking it very seriously. Like, there's no figures attached as far as what ESPN are paying Blizzard Entertainment to have the broadcast rights. So I'll be curious to see if it's a big money deal. But it starts with the playoffs beginning. I think as of tonight, the playoff actually starts. So it's going to be broadcast on ESPN
3.
Yeah, via ESPN and on ESPN2, and then obviously on their streaming services. You know, as of by the time this episode drops, and ABC are also doing a full recap show and also adding additional content for fans unfamiliar with it. So for people looking to find that launch pad into the Overwatch universe, ABC have got something a little bit more lighthearted in tone and more accessible. So I don't know, you guys, when you watch these broadcasts live, do you find it hard to keep up with sometimes? Because I do.
Yep.
I did a little bit for like Dota and LoL. Well, like, I genuinely still did like watching them. I don't know, it's just because I understand, like, Overwatch, like, it's not simple, but it's simpler than, like, the mechanics in a Dota and a LoL, where, like, farming and carries and all that kind of stuff. I know there were buzzwords, but I do genuinely know how to play those games. For anyone that's
I don't mean how to play. I mean, like, because the game's played at such a frenetic pace, and some of the camera cuts just so rapid. It's hard to keep track with what the fuck is going on.
They're getting so much better at doing it. During, like, the World Cup, it was a bit janky like that. But now, like, you watch Overwatch League matches, they have, like, now they haven't, because Blizzard have pumped more, like, money into, like, giving them tools to be able to film it better. It's so much better. They can do long shots, they can do all different shots now, and they don't have to cut between just player views anymore. And it is a lot more better to follow. Also, like, now the presenters are a lot better at, like, presenting it in a way that it is easier for a casual audience to watch and stuff like that. They're getting, like, this is their first year, and it's already leaps and bounds ahead of what I saw at the World Cup.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with just how tightly run Blizzard is. You know, they do not muck around when it comes to creating product, showcasing product, maintaining product. You know, it's a testament to everyone involved there. It's probably one of the best run companies in the gaming space.
I just wish
today.
They came up with their own ideas. That'd be real nice.
Jeez.
All right. On that salty note, let's move into the final segment of the podcast.
You've got mail.
So this week's listener mail, we're going to unpack a question sent to us via way of Dane on the Twitter sphere, who can be found at Dane Peavy. Dane, we love you, mate. Hope you're doing well, and hopefully that podcast you keep talking about here and there gets off the ground soon.
You can do it, bud.
So he has come to us with a question, and he wants to know, what is the first game you remember clearing unassisted? So he's talking about the first game you remember finishing at you know, whatever age. What is the first memory of you finishing said game without, you know, a Game Shark or a Pro Action Replay, which were available back when we were all little kiddies, without cheat codes, you know, like Doom codes and stuff like that. What's the game that you remember first playing by yourself that you finished from front to back without any outside influence? Nato?
Sonic.
What was yours?
Sonic 1.
Oh,
and
really?
it literally wasn't my first attempt at Sonic 1. I think it was just before Sonic 3 came out. I was like, man, I've never finished a Sonic yet. So I went back and I like powered through and I eventually finished Sonic 1. And then from there used the momentum to go through and finish Sonic 2. And God, that was many sneaking nights playing it after mum and dad had gone to bed, like getting up to the TV with my doona, like putting it over the TV with me so like it wouldn't shine light through the house, and like just trying to power through that game. And it took me like a few weeks to do it. It was so
I love that
so
game.
hard.
I cannot remember the worlds and the individual levels, but I remember one of the jungle levels and the chiptune soundtrack attached to that. I swear it was that. Do you guys remember that song, Accidentally Kelly Street?
Yeah, we've talked about this before. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's just, chiptune that down or MIDI that down and plugged it straight into Sonic. Great song, by the way.
Yeah, I used to love that level, except for jumping up the waterfall, having to make the platforms. That used to shit me to tears.
Yeah. Like I think it's only like the second level in that game, but the fucking sewage plant or the poison plant,
Chemical Zone.
Chemical Zone, where the water level came up and like.
That is Chemical Zone. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, look, as a Sonic fan, I can admit it. Sonic is a bad game, so Crash fans, you can admit it as well. But the jumping sections sometimes wouldn't register properly when you landed on a platform, so it was just so bad trying to play that game.
No, there was a legit landing schedule, but you had to time it just right.
Yeah, I know, but it was bullshit because it wasn't registering properly. It should register the whole bar, and it didn't. Like, you'd have to land with like Sonic's feet a bit more onto the thing. He couldn't be on the thing. Yeah, it was just bad game. I love Sonic. Scrub. I love Sonic, but it's a bad game. Same as Crash. Everybody out there.
I know. Your sister Alexander's a big Sonic fan. Obviously, Sonic Mania dropped last year. Sonic Mania Plus, I think, drops in the next week or two.
Yeah.
Which has got additional characters and content. Are either of yourselves going to be trying to pick this up at all?
No.
Maybe a Switch title? Did you pick up Sonic Mania on the Switch? I didn't. I thought about it.
I played it at a mate's and realized it's exactly the same as Sonic that I played as a kid, and I was like, why do I want to play that torture again?
Okay, you must have been playing it for a short while, because it's definitely different.
It's not.
It is. It's definitely different.
It's crap.
Remember, Alexander, they're simple over there on the western side.
That's true. That's true. I think we're all going to have roughly the same kind of console as I get manlier through this episode.
You're making us start to feel a bit feminine there, Alexander.
I'm not.
I'm sort of receding back into my youth at the moment.
Now there's something else receding inside of you as well.
Maybe there's a bit of shrinkage, a bit cold tonight. Maybe the hairline because I'm getting a bit older.
Now he's turning into an innie.
Jesus.
That's belly buttons.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Innies and outies are belly buttons.
Brendan, this is the kind of quality that we expect from a Sam episode. You're supposed to reel us in from this kind of lingo. I'm disappointed.
Well, we've got Alexander the wild card here. I don't know what to expect. This is sort of trodden territory here.
But sorry, Ali, what game did you finish?
Okay, so I tried to go through all the games that I remember playing in my youth. I'm like, there has to have been like a Sonic game that I remember finishing like as one of my first. And I'm like, no, I always had to get my older brother to help me. So I never, like, that was much later on when I 100% finished the game by myself. But I actually think, thinking back, so it would have been the Sega Master System. And I think it would have been Tasmania. Like, as in Looney Tunes, like Tassie Devil.
Damn, yeah.
So I actually think I remember playing that the full way and finishing that all by myself. And now that I think about it, it was actually a really short game. But, like, yeah, I definitely finished that one by myself. It would have been that or Tom and Jerry. Those are the only ones that are coming to my mind that would have been the first ones that I completed by myself.
I love that Tasmania game.
It was so good.
it was great, but also because if we're talking Looney Tunes, he was always my favorite character. I think we've unpacked this on earlier episodes too, because you're a Marvin the Martian
and Wile E. Coyote,
or your sisters.
Yes.
Your sister's a Marvin the Martian fan.
Yes.
But yeah, it was good. It was a rock solid little side-scrolling platformer. Obviously, it's sort of save the world-esque story, if I can remember right.
Something along
but
those
Taz
lines.
is the man.
Yeah, that's like he was a great character, but I just always remember he was kind of like Sonic, where you had to just like rev up your speed so you could do like the standard Tassie Devil kind of like whirlwind kind of thing. But that used to screw you up because if you timed it wrong or you bounced off the wrong thing, you were dead instantly. He used to eat those big chunks of meat for life. And you'd be like,
was it like the big ham leg?
Yeah.
And you're like,
it was such a good game. God, I remember that now.
Yeah, it was a classic. I feel
Some
like
of the
a lot of
bosses
people
in that were hard, like real hard.
Yeah, thinking back, I think there must have been this one boss just before, like I think there's like a cave level, and I think that's where I usually got like hung up. But yeah, I remember finishing that and like kind of telling my older brother, and he didn't believe me.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. Kick his ass in any game now.
That's it.
Yeah.
Get good scrub.
Showed him. What about you?
So I was the same as you there, Alex.
Yes.
The first game I remember finishing, and I guess it could be sort of an honorable mention / technically I did it sort of myself, was I remember Super Mario Brothers 3 on the SNES. I played as Luigi, my uncle played as Mario, and we finished, all 8 levels without the hacks, no whistles, none of that. But that was sort of still technically joint. So I'm going to say Wonder Boy 3 Dragon's Trap with the first game
You
I
finished that?
solo.
When you were
Finished
young?
a Wonder Boy? Jesus.
It took me a long time. As a kid, obviously growing up sort of on a bit of the poorer side of the tracks, we didn't get the consoles at launch and things like that. So my uncle, he's only about 7 years older than me. He had the Master System. And so on the weekends, I used to go over and stay over there, and we'd play games, and he'd show me horror movies that would scare the absolute shit out of me because I was little.
Yep.
But yeah, smashed out Wonder Boy 3 Dragon's Trap over the span of, it must have been maybe 5 or 6, maybe 7 weekends in a row. I'd go over there and stay Friday night, Saturday night.
That's one I never finished. I never finished that one.
I loved it. I loved it. There was all the the offshoot characters you could be. Obviously, at the very start of the game, you start as Lizard Man, and then you can become like
Little
Piranha
Mouse.
Man and bloody
Mouse Man.
Mouse Man, which he could do with the wall walking and the ceilings. If I remember, if you're on the checkered blocks. Lion Man, obviously, and he's got the sword, and he can just lay some whoop ass. Then you've got Hawk Man, where you could fly. It was a great game.
Did you get the remake?
Game.
I was just looking on the wiki article, and there's a 2016 remake of it.
It was awesome.
It's on the Switch. It's sick, and you could press a button, and you could transition between the OG graphics and sort of the remake version.
Damn.
It was.
No, I didn't even know it was out
still
there.
hard as fuck. Yeah, still hard as fuck.
Yeah, it is hard as fuck on the Switch. Like, I'm still pretty early days on there. I've only probably put 2.5 hours maybe onto the Switch remake. But yeah, OG Wonder Boy 3 was the first game I can remember finishing, because it was one of my proudest moments as a kid. I remember sort of getting picked up on the Sunday from my mum and going home, and she was like, "How was your weekend?" And I was like, "Mum, you wouldn't believe it, I finished Wonder Boy 3. And she had no idea what I was talking about, but she was like, "Oh, that's so good, so proud of you."
Aww.
And Wonder Boy 3 was my first clear completion without assistance, no hacks, just myself against the video game, and God, it felt good.
So, like, that's a good question. Like, with it coming out again, that's the second kind of question I wanted to add on top. Is there any games that you went back when you were a bit older and actually finished for the first time? Because I have one, and it is fucking Lion King on Sega Mega Drive. I went back when I was a lot older, finally beat that goddamn waterfall. Fuck you, waterfall, with your fucking log jumps. I beat that, and once I passed that, the rest of the game was fucking simple. It's that one point that I couldn't beat as a kid, and I beat that game finally. Threw Scar off Pride Rock, took my mantle and had sex with my mum and my sister and all the other lionesses.
And then he finished the game. So I had to take that opportunity.
Yeah. Alexander doesn't fuck around. He's throwing punches just like his sister. He's doing it proud.
Yeah.
Just like Nato was. The only thing I can really think of would be the Simpsons. I can't remember the attachment to the title, but remember the arcade game side scroller 4-player beat 'em up.
Yeah, the beat 'em up.
Yeah, that one, and also the Teenage Mutant Turtles equivalent of that too. I've gone back and finished both of those.
Wait, you beat the level on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the like... Oh no, that was the console version. Sorry, yeah. No, I was thinking the console version that has the... What is
the
it?
drills that are popping through?
No, the algae or whatever on the water section. That's just like, it just kills.
It's electronic, and you can't touch it.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah, so I've finished those, but outside of that, I can't really think of anything where I've specifically gone back to something that I couldn't beat when I was a kid and go back and beat it now. A lot of the time, I'm a one and done with a lot of games, or just moving on pretty quick. So. Yeah, they're the only two that really come to mind just off the top of my head. What about you, Mr. Hart?
I actually have one in particular. On the Sega Mega Drive Master System, I always forget which one it was. It was a game called Another World. And
you love that game.
That game was so good.
Oh, your sister loves that game.
Yeah, sorry, sister loved that game. But she was so scared of it. The game was so scary and difficult that, like, as a young lass, she just could not finish it at all. Like, at all. Like, I wouldn't even... Like, I'd barely escape the prison, I think. And once you got out of the prison, you're in this, like ancient, like, kind of, like, temple-y area where you're going up and down stairs and everything. Anyway, never got past that part. Literally only, like, a few years ago, a remastered version came out, and I fucking finished it. She finished it. And proudest moment, that friggin' alien panther thing didn't scare her anymore. The aliens in general didn't scare her anymore. Like, fucking finished the game so proud. So goddamn proud.
No, that's fantastic. I remember because you wrote up a review way back when we were still doing sort of written pieces.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
There was a lot of love attached to that game.
There was many,
and it's something I'd like to give a go to because I never played it. It
God,
sort of
completely
missed my radar.
The review scores for it are like 90s and plus. Everyone loves that game.
It was a fantastic game for its time. Like, looking at the graphics now, you'd be like, the graphics look fucking shit. But like back then,
they would have been good for then. Yeah.
Back then, it was like, holy shit! Like this looks amazing. Like So, but it also had a very dark atmosphere. So, as a young kid playing it, you kind of got a little scared, maybe.
Well, that's all right.
Audi turns into an
that could be the episode title. Who knows?
And how?
Dane, thank you for the question. So what we've sort of mentioned over the last few weeks is we're going to be sort of rotating that final segment, keeping things fresh, rotating in iTunes reviews coupled with games like Clan or Sham and such, as well as listener questions. So send them all in. hello@8bit.net via the email. DM us directly on socials at We Are 8bit on Twitter, on Facebook. Hit up any of us even if you wanted to. Because, we want to hear from you and we want to unpack all types of questions. We want this sort of last segment especially to be something that can be a capsule that's timeless, that people can go back and listen to and relate to and add to and things like that. So, that's been an episode 111, which is a palindrome for those people out there that know their numbers. Anything yourselves want to plug or say before we move on out of here, leading into 1112 next week?
Nato.
Yes, go listen to me now, the beautiful and humble host. That's a beautiful play on Brendan's humble host at the start. You Game Bro podcast. You can always check it on Twitch. twitch.tv/ugamebro podcast, all one big word, on Wednesdays, 8:30 on the Eastern Coast, 6:30 for the West Coast for Australia. You just Google it. For anyone else that's not in those locations, it's not that hard, people.
Just work it out.
Yeah, and then on Saturday mornings at lunchtime for East Coast, or 10 o'clock for me. I couldn't even remember my own time zone. On Saturdays when I have international guests. If not, you can always catch the audio version of those episodes up on the usual podcasting apps and devices and SoundClouds and all those things. So go check that out. I bring on beautiful guests, and we review like streamers and podcasters, and had Brendan on and his beautiful missus, had I Speak Giant from the 8-Bit Collective, and I've also had the OK Beast Boys, which is the other podcast network that I do my other podcast, A+ Anime, so go check that out. If you are ever thinking about dabbling into anime, it's all about getting people into anime, so don't be afraid to go have a listen. Because it's about trying to get you into anime, so go check that out.
It's a great podcast, and there is no barrier to entry on it. You can jump in on any episode. Maybe you're looking at a particular anime, you can check their back catalogue and say, oh look, they've done one on anime X, Y, and jump in, listen to it, and build an opinion around that. So yeah, give it a spin.
Yes. And you can always check me out. I know Nato everywhere on the social devices across the world. Go check me out.
Alexander, what about yourself?
Well, you can find my sister Ali at Miss Ali Hart. You can, forward all your discretions to her, because you can only find me at the gym 5 times a week, flexing my ass in front of a mirror.
I want Alexander back every episode. He's a great guy.
One-time special, man of the people.
We'll have to talk offline, see if we can get him to make a cameo here or there, every season. But yeah, Alexander, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. And Nato, to a lesser extent, thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. I love yous both.
To a lesser extent? Was my time worth less to you or something like that?
No,
I've just got bigger
part of the
balls.
furniture now. That too.
Longer wang.
Okay.
Alexander's got a perter ass.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah. Back on track. Find us all as a whole at We Are 8-Bit on all the social medias. Check out youtube.com/We Are 8-Bit for some great video content from Sammy Deed. She's got a Half Informed up there with Captain Spirit. As well as check hashtag 8-Bit Collective or 8bit.net for 9 other fantastic podcasts. You Game Bro especially included, which, as Nato mentioned, airs live on a Wednesday evening or sometimes Saturday with international guests. And 8bit.net obviously for all that as the main central hub. Thank you again to Audio Technica for providing us with this sweet audio equipment that makes us sound and look fantastic. Audiotechnica.com.au for their entire range there. But until next week, where we've got episode 1112, where there will be myself, John O'Peck, and potentially Salim the Dream if he is out of prison by then. Touch wood, who knows?
Can I just say he's a coward? I come on the podcast to talk Pokemon, and where is this supposed Pokemon champion that wants to step up in my yard and claim Pokemon Kingdom over Moa?
He's currently getting his Weedle violated in a prison cell.
Yep, coward.
Nice.
But anyway, Dream, we love you. Please come back to us maybe one day. But yeah, 8-Bit Nation, it has been episode 111. Thank you for tuning in. Until next week, much love.
Stay hungry. That's my line of song.
You've been listening to The Hungry Gamers, one of many gaming and geek culture related podcasts from the 8-Bit Collective over on 8bit.net. Check out more episodes on your podcast service of choice. And while you're there, please be sure to rate and subscribe. Until next time, boys and girls, stay hungry.